Plymouth police are warning residents that springtime often brings an upward swing in property crimes. Police are already investigating several reports of suspicious people rummaging through unlocked cars and other burglary attempts. That's in keeping with a metro-wide trend where invasions like this one, caught on video 2 years ago, tend to go up with the temperature. Plymouth police say they're working with other agencies to solve some of the burglaries.
Crime doesn't contain itself to one city, so often when there are things like this or trends like this that are happening across city borders, across county borders, the only way to really get to the bottom of a problem is to work collaboratively as a group.
Police recommend following a nighttime checklist to make sure cars and houses are locked. It can take firefighters 7 to 10 minutes to arrive to a house fire on average, but by that point it might be too late. As Delane Cleveland explains, it's one reason why the Brooklyn Park Fire Department is making a push for people to consider home sprinkler systems.
At Brooklyn Park's annual Tater Day celebration, there is no shortage of fun activities.
So today is our open house.
And for Brooklyn Park firefighters, it's the perfect opportunity to educate.
But it's just so incredible to see how many people are here learning about fire safety.
But at Saturday's open house, firefighters wanted the focus to be on this trailer, built to look like a miniature version of your average living room.
It's basically a side-by-side trailer where we're going to show you one room that doesn't have a sprinkler and one room that does. And we're going to show you how effective home sprinklers can be at putting out a fire.
Deputy Fire Marshal Dan Cryer says today's homes burn hotter and faster than ever. And what better way to demonstrate that than with a controlled burn? First, they set fire to the room without the sprinkler system. In a matter of seconds, the smoke detector goes off as the curtain goes up in flames. About 3 minutes in, the fire makes its way to the couch. And at the 4-minute mark, SpongeBob meets his ultimate demise. Before firefighters come in with hoses.
It took a little bit for the couch to really get going, but once it did and that synthetic material caught fire and started the chain reaction, it wasn't long before that whole room reached temperatures of probably 1,000 plus degrees.
Next up, they set fire to the room with the sprinkler system. Just like room number 1, the fire quickly makes its way up the curtain. But 26 seconds in, the heat triggers the sprinkler system that minimizes the damage.
You can see the survivability of someone in that room versus this room.
At the bare minimum, Cryer hopes the demonstration encourages homeowners to put a smoke detector in every bedroom and on every floor. But in a perfect world, they'd add a sprinkler system as another line of defense. In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
Cryer says installing sprinklers in a home costs about 1 to 3% of a home's value during construction. There's perhaps no better time to work in the field of computer technology. Job openings abound. But while that might seem like a good thing, as Corey Bork reports in this week's Business Matters, companies are finding it difficult to grow unless a serious shortage of tech workers is addressed.
As you can see, there's routers and switches here.
Nathan Sanders will soon be a man in demand.
It happened because of an essential IT.
The former student at Hennepin Technical College is pursuing a career in cybersecurity.
I consider myself an ethical hacker. So what an ethical hacker does is they look for vulnerabilities in systems, and they alert the right personnel about the vulnerabilities in their systems.
But the world of computer technology needs more people like Nathan, much more. The Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development estimates there will be about 75,000 tech job openings in the state over the next decade.
Always looking for good tech workers and definitely struggling to find them.
At True IT in Osseo, the company fills technology gaps for businesses with either no IT department or a very small one. In just 7 years, True IT went from a startup to now 70 employees, but it can only grow so fast unless it finds more tech help.
It's kind of a two-faceted battle. One, our colleges and universities and tech colleges are not turning out enough for the current future demand, but it's also, we had this shortage 10 years ago, so you don't see a lot of experienced workers out there.
Companies are relying on schools like Hennepin Tech to address the shortage.
To meet those demands, we offer day, evening, and weekend courses. Our courses are scheduled 8 weeks and 16 weeks, so very flexible schedules for those students that are working.
At Hennepin Tech's spring commencement, the largest number of graduates came from IT. 84 students either received IT degrees or certificates.
Some of our students do have internship opportunities, so they can go out work with our industry partners and get that real-time experience. One great thing about that too is when they're on their internships, they get paid, so that helps with the student to offset the costs of the courses.
Company leaders say that's a start.
10 years from now, we are going to be, if we don't change our education, we are going to be in a serious issue trying to have all the security people, trying to have all the technical workers, the consultants.
For Business Matters, Corey Bork, CCX News.
The CEO of True IT says the shortage is serious enough that the company may have to start up its own university or training system, perhaps even reaching into high schools for prospective workers, because it's uncertain how traditional colleges can turn the tide. In Brooklyn Park, a growing area near Highway 610 has something new to celebrate. Pancheros Mexican Grill celebrated its 5th Twin Cities location last Thursday. The fast casual concept touts fresh ingredients from its salsa made in-house to its hand-tossed tortillas made every morning. The director of operations at Pancheros says its family atmosphere has helped meet the demand for workers.
The one issue where we had some concern is it's been pretty busy, so we have needed to bring in some extra people.
At last check, the food service sector had a 12% job vacancy rate, behind only the retail and healthcare sectors.
Hopkins baseball team qualified for state for the first time since 2012, where they faced a first-time entrant in the Class 4A quarterfinals. The Rogers Royals making their first state tourney appearance after a great postseason run in Section 8. Bottom of the first, Luke Poliak at the plate for Hopkins. And a great defensive play for Rogers. Reed Olson takes away an extra base hit with that running catch in right field. No score after one. Top of the second, Rogers' number 9 hitter is Aaron Schmidt. He gets a hold of a Miles Halligan pitch and drives it deep to left center. It hits the top of the fence and bounces over for a home run. It's a 2-run homer for Schmidt as Rogers grabs a 2-0 lead. They add single runs in both the 3rd and 4th innings. With Easton Miller at the plate, Schmidt scores in a wild pitch here, put his team ahead 4-0 in the 4th. Hopkins scores 1 run on an error in the bottom of the 4th, and then in the 6th, this single to center field by Louis Felamavicius scores Calvin Harris, and it's a 4-2 game. That's all the scoring as Rogers beats Hopkins 4-2. Both teams played again Saturday. Hopkins won their consolation semifinal against Blaine, but then lost to Mounds View 9-2 in the 5th place game. Rogers fell to New Prague in the 4A semifinals and then lost to Stillwater in the 3rd place game. In Class 3A, Benilde-St. Margaret's will play for a championship later this week. After beating Marshall in the quarterfinals, the Red Knights were ready to go against top seed Monticello in the semifinals. It's Monticello striking first. The pitch gets away. Tommy Blackstone races home to score the game's first run in the bottom of the 1st inning. They look for more in the 2nd. Jace Pribble delivers a base hit up the middle. The Benilde center fielder Mason James throws to the plate. Evan Brown applies the tag and keeps it a 1-0 game. Top of the 4th, Matthew Hansberry lifts a fly ball to right field. Matt Murnane tags up to score from 3rd base on Hansberry's sacrifice fly, and the Red Knights tie the game up 1-1. An inning later, they grab the lead. The pitcher's low and inside and tough to handle. Johnny Woodford dashes home to give BSM the lead at 2-1. Pitcher Dylan Dries isn't overpowering, but he pitches well, getting the strikeout here to end it. Benilde moves into the 3A title game with a 2-1 win. Red Knights meet St. Thomas Academy for the championship Thursday at 4 at Target Field. In the state boys lacrosse finals, Benilde-St. Margaret's beating Prior Lake for the championship. Benjamin Jung rifles a shot into the back of the Benilde net. That gives the Lakers a 2-0 lead after 1. Second quarter, Benilde gets on the board. Jack Banuski's goal cuts the Prior Lake lead to 3-1, and that's the score at halftime. Same score in the 3rd quarter, and a big takeaway here by Prior Lake's Will Gilbert makes a nice move, and he'll head down the field and then set up Jack Smith with a great pass. Smith's goal put the Lakers back in front by 3 goals. Kalam Stores gets beat up pretty good here by the Prior Lake defenders, but gets himself free and comes out to score. The Red Knights get back to within 2 at 4-2, but that is as close as they get. Prior Lake wins its 3rd state title in 4 years with a 5-3 win over BSM. That's all for sports. Shannon, back to you.
Thanks, John. Some local health clinics have a prescription for better nutrition. All health partners and Park Nicollet clinics, including this one in Plymouth, started writing prescriptions for kids for fruits and veggies. Anytime a child comes in for a wellness visit or at one of their clinics, they get a $10 card to buy produce at any Cub Foods. The program has been in place for more than 5 years. The goal is to reach 20,000 families this summer.
Unhealthy food choices leads to lots of different diseases, including diabetes, obesity, that can have all sorts of impacts on overall health and emotional well-being. The decisions we make every day, including exercise and healthy food choices like fruits and veggies, are much more important than, frankly, anything I can prescribe.
According to doctors, the more color on a kid's plate, the better, which is critical to good nutrition. Of course, you can see this story more on our website, ccxmedia.org.